Hey y'all, we're gonna do a full-on Packer brisket. We're gonna do it in our new Woodfire XL Pro Connect. Guys, you ain't gonna wanna miss this one. First, I'd like to thank this week's sponsor, BetterHelp, but more on them later. We've already got the brisket prep. Took a little bit of time trimming up that brisket. It's a 12-pound brisket. I trimmed probably, I don't know, a couple pounds off of it. You gotta make it a little aerodynamic, get those thin bits off, cut off some of that silver skin on the back. I'm trimming down the fat. The point has plenty of fat running through it, which is the thicker muscle at the end. And then the flat, you know, doesn't have as much fat, so I leave a little fat cap on there, you know, a ½ inch on there. So I just go through and trim it up, trim any bad spots off that don't look right. It's nothing fancy. We're not trying to win competitions with it, okay? So just take your time, but don't let it spin you out, you know. Clean off any bits that don't quite look right, okay? It's up to you. And then I season it up. Use a little Caribeque beef big and bold, which I figure goes great with a brisket. Put a link down below for Caribeque. My guy Kurt's got a lot of good stuff over there. Good dude, all right? Season it up both sides, even the sides everywhere, okay? Just all around it. Get a good heavy duty layer seasoning on there. You're not gonna over season this thing. It's a big piece of meat and it can take it, okay? That brings us to here. All right, we're ready to fire this up. We got some Jealous Devil pellets in there. They're just a blend of pellets. It's not a big deal. Use whatever pellets you like. It is a big piece of meat that we're gonna throw in there, so you can use a heavier wood pellet like a hickory or a mesquite if you want. But like I said, I have a blend from Jack's, okay, from Jealous Devil. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up. We're gonna let it go through the ignition process, burn all that heavy white smoke off. We're gonna throw the 2 probes that came with the XL in there, and we're gonna monitor it through the app, right? And you'll see, you know, how we set it up. Set it on smoker here. Go 250 for as long as it takes. And we'll throw the Celsius underneath for all my Canadian friends and people across the pond. And we're gonna take that to about 165, 170 in the point. Once we hit that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up in some tin foil, a little beef stock or whatever in there, and then finish it out still on the smoker setting all the way through at 250. So I'm thinking this will take probably about 4 or 5 hours, but in the end, I'll tell you how long it took, okay? I'm also, being that this is the first run, I'm also gonna throw my temp spike thermometer in there, my Bluetooth thermometer. That way I can monitor and see, you know, how the temps are going on there. I trust my temp spike, not too sure about the Ninja probes yet. So we will check it out. I'll let you know. If you wanna get yourself one of those temp spike Bluetooth thermometers, I'll put a link down below and check it out. Kinda over-talked it, but let's get this thing fired up and get those smoke rolling. Come on back. All right, guys, we're gonna turn it on. It says hello. Well, hello, how are you doing? We're gonna use the mode button to select smoker, 250. As far as the time wise, I want to bump that up just so I don't have to come back out here and switch it or mess with it on the app. I don't think it's going to take 8 hours, but I'm going to set it for 8 hours. Woodfire flavor is already lit up, right? Hit start, let it go through that ignition process. We'll get the brisket on. All right, we got that smoke rolling. Almost time to get that brisket on. Woo. Guys, I got to tell you, I'm really digging this new grill. The grill is amazing. Yes?
Another grill?
Uh-huh.
Well, I hope you like them. You can sleep out here with them.
That's so mean.
Bye.
Bye. Man, talk about someone who needs better help. Guys, I'd like to thank this week's sponsor, BetterHelp. Mental health and happiness are such a big deal these days. And you know what? Listen, I would never tell her to go get better help because I like my life and I like cooking out on these grills. But guys, finding a therapist in this day and age and someone to help you get on your happiness journey is very difficult. But BetterHelp's a platform that helps you find a therapist that's affordable and it's easy to do. You'll fill out a simple questionnaire and BetterHelp will match you with a licensed qualified therapist. Shortly after your match, you can begin your therapy from your very own home. And you don't have to be limited just to the spots around your house, right? Guys, I've been saying it, mental health is so important in this day and age. So if you'd like to begin your BetterHelp journey, click the link in the video description. It's betterhelp.com/cookingwithcj. It'll save you 10% on your first month, so there's no excuse not to get started today. Guys, I'm gonna go see if I can get in the good graces of Mrs. CJ. Maybe go get her a nice coffee or something, but trust me, do not tell your wife, hey, you should go get a therapist, or tell her to relax, or calm down. That never works. Anyway, thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to that brisket. Team, we're up to temp, smoking. Love it. Let's go ahead and get this brisket on. We got the fat side facing up because that's where the heat's going to be coming from. We're going to plug in our probes. So we're going to go ahead and hit the app for it. Ooh, Ninja All right, we're connected. I want to adjust the temperature on here. So we got well. I want to change it to manual. I want to go to 165, okay? Save changes. And it changed it automatically on the deal right there. So we're going to change it on both of these. Again, go to manual. We want 165, save changes. So both of the probes have been adjusted, okay? And I'll set up my temp spike too. All right, guys, nothing left to do but wait. All right, we gotta let it get that good smoke, right? Usually the pellets will run out within about 45 minutes to an hour. So about at that hour, I'm gonna come back and check on it anyway. If the pellets are burned out, I'm gonna go ahead and add another cup of pellets in there. It's a big piece of meat. We wanna give it a decent amount of smoke. And I'll show you how we do that and get them reignited. And that's it. At some point, as the bark sets, which is the outside crust of the brisket, I might spray it down with a little bit of water to keep that bark moist and keep absorbing that smoke. But we'll come to that as we need it. It may not need it. So the thing about barbecue is you gotta move and groove and adjust as you go. And that's stuff I'm trying to teach you guys in this Woodfire grill. Nothing left to do but wait. We'll see you in a hot second for you, but it'll be an hour or two for me. All right, guys, we're a little over an hour into it. Let's take a look at that brisket. Getting a little bit of color up here. Rust still looking pretty moist. Not quite ready to start spritzing yet. Our probe temperature is a little over 140. I might let this get a little bit more time on the bark side, you know, before we wrap it, even if it goes above 165, 170. I want this bark to get a little bit more darker, a little more set, okay? But we are looking good on that one. Come back in about a half hour or so. Give it a check. Guys, we've gone over an hour or so in there. The pellets have ran out. I'm gonna refill it. A little bit more jacks. And I'm gonna press and hold this Woodfire flavor button here. All right, we're going through the ignition process of those pellets again. And then we'll give it a little bit more smoke on there. Actually, I'm gonna open this up real quick. Getting some great color on there, okay? But I wanna give it a bit more smoke since it's such a big brisket. Okay, let's shut it down. Let it go through the ignition process, and then we'll finish cooking it up. Probably give it another hour or so. All right, team, we got a beautiful bark going on there. Great color. Let's get the probes out and get it wrapped up. It's looking amazing right now. All right, team, we are temping out about 175, 180 in each of the probes, okay? But I wanted to give it a lot more time on the smoke. We're about 2.5 hours in, okay? So we gave it 2 cycles of the smoke, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and pull it off and wrap it. We're gonna pour a little beef consomme over the top of it to keep it moist in there, seal it up, get it back in the wood fire, okay? So let's go get this thing wrapped up. All right, I got our tin foil out. I'm gonna go ahead and tear it off. Okay, boat this up a little bit here. Pour a little consomme over the top. It's gonna make a beautiful jus while it's cooking. Rehydrating that bark. Fold this over. Make sure the sides are nice and tight. You don't want any of the steam to escape. Pour a little bit more consomme in there. And get it nice and wrapped tight on the top over here too. There's our beautiful package. Put the temp spike back in there. It's going in nice. Feeling nice and tender. Get our gray probe in. Get our other probe on here. Go. And get it back on the grill. Okay, our package is secure in there. Nice and tight. The probes are going in nice. Still need some more time. We're gonna give it another probably couple hours, and then we'll let it rest for at least an hour, okay? Shut it down, come on back. All right, guys, this ain't get food. That means we're up to 205 in both of the probes. So we're gonna pull this out and let it rest. Good hour at least. Let this rest. Got into some, so you know, put this over here. Got out of the sun a little bit in the backyard. Let's go ahead and get this brisket open and on this table. Whew, that is a juicy beast right there. This actually used to be my nickname. Let's get this on the board. Whew, Don't throw away all them juices in the foil right there. That right there is just good flavor. Right, so we got a beautiful brisket right there. I'm gonna do a half cut right over the middle, just so we can see what we're working with on the inside. Beautiful, nice and tender, juicy as can be. I'm not big on squeezing my briskets. Got a nice bark, nice render. Let's start cutting up the flat. It's cutting like butter. Nice and tender. Got a pretty thick fat cap on there, which is okay with me. Still pretty hot. Could have let it rest a little bit more. Let's take a look. All right, there's your bend test, nice and floppy. We'll do the pull test. It's got a little pull, but nice and tender. All right, let's finish chopping this up, and then we'll give it a taste test. Guys, we're done. Slice it up, looks beautiful. Pulls apart tender. Plenty of flavor. In fact, I got me another little bite right here, a little bite of the burnt end on the point, a fatty bit. It's my favorite. So freaking good. Guys, give this a try in your wood fire. All right, simple steps. We smoke it till about 170, 175, 160, in that range, right? With plenty of smoke. We did 2 cycles of smoke, right? Wrapped it with a little consomme and some tin foil that helps cook it all the way down. Gave it plenty more heat till it hit about 205, 207, 207 in there. That was very probe tender. Let it rest for at least an hour. You could probably go 2, 3, 4, whatever. As long as it's kind of wrapped up in the towel, insulated, you know, let it go for a while, okay? It helps everything kind of calm down in there. Let the juices kind of run, redistribute, whatever. Now again, I do not squeeze my briskets just to show how juicy they are. I know how juicy this brisket is. Turned out amazing. Guys, you could probably fit a 13 to 14 pound brisket, depending on how you trim it, in that XL. All right, so you got a pretty good, and it's a full brisket. It's a full packer brisket. So it's you know, point and flat all together, okay? Which I think is the best way. So guys, pretty simple, right? If you guys want to get yourself one of these Woodfire grills, links are down below. Check it out. I do have some cookbooks for the Woodfire grill that will work with the XL or the regular. I'll have links for those below too. They're e-cookbooks. Okay, so you download them and I'll get shipped to you. You'd be surprised how many people question that. If you want anything I use in my videos, from knives, cutting boards, merch, any of that jazz, links are all down below. If you want to become a show producer, I have 2 ways of doing it, whether it's Patreon or the YouTube membership. Hit that join button right next to the subscribe button, which you should have already hit by now. And you too could be scrolling across the screen like all the awesome people that I'm scrolling across the screen. Other than that, guys, we're done. Listen, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for cooking with CJ. Cheers.